Hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. It's kind of hot out here. I wanted to do this outside. I don't know why I wanted to do this outside. It's so hot out here, and I'm in the shade. If you think it doesn't get hot in Colorado, think again. Or maybe I'm just not used to it because it's been nice and cool. And then I went on my Rockstar road trip, and I came back, and it's summer. My goodness, where did this come from? I don't know. Anyway, if you're wondering where I am, well, I'm in my backyard, yes, but I'm right in front of my chicken pen. So I thought, you guys would like to see my chickens. There's two of them. Here's one over here. I'll show you them a little bit. Oh, and look here. We have a visitor. Dolly must have heard me talking. Remember my little white on rice? Yep, this is my white on rice. My little girl. Let me tell you something. Hey, George, glad you could make it. No, I'm not having hot flashes. I do have hot flashes, but I'm not having one. It's hot here. It's like, I don't know, 92 degrees. Okay, quit laughing. I know, it's a lot hotter everywhere else, but that's hot here, okay? Oh, anyway, this is Deli. You remember Deli, like I said, my precious little girl. Oh, now we have to go chase something. I don't know. No, you want to go chase it? No, you don't? Okay. Well, listen, I wanted to give you highlights from that Rockstar road trip. I know a lot of you followed the lives. Some of you didn't get to see them because you only joined me on the Sunday, 3 o'clock Mountain Time, Live with Lynn. So I just wanted to kind of go over what happened because it was so cool. I planned this out so that every one of my legs of my trip was 3 hours to 6 hours and not more than that because I figured that was something I could handle in the car, and it worked out really well. And I told you that I would report back to you and let you know if that really was a great idea or not, and no, it really worked out well. Anyway, so from here in Canyon City a week ago Thursday, I went to Liberal, and that's where my son William and my daughter-in-law Abby live, and I got to see their new house. Well, it's not a brand new house, but what happened was, this is such a cool situation for them. They've been married exactly 1 year this June, and her grandmother, now this isn't the good part, her grandmother passed away, and her aunt and uncle own the house. So they were going to fix the house so that they could rent it. You hear that? Somebody's wanting to be on the live. Somebody, yes? You want to say something? Yes? There's always somebody in the crowd that wants to take over your live spot, right? Anyway, so they worked on that. Hi, Paul. Thanks for coming. They worked on this house. William and Abby worked on this house with the aunt and the uncle. And, gosh, they worked on it months. I mean, they had it down to bare walls, bare floors. They said at one point they could see down into the basement. So they took it down as far as they needed to take it to really fix it nice, and it's very nice, and I was so impressed with this house. It's just perfect for them. It's just so them, and they've got 2 recliners that faces right towards the big screen TV where they do nothing but play games. Well, they go to work and they come home and they cook dinner, but they play, World of Warcraft, whatever, I don't know. Anyway, they're amazing. I love them so much, and they're doing so well, and I have to say that they are adulting very well. So from there, I went the next day. I went to oh, I meant to tell you also, while I was in Liberal, I got to stay at what I call Hotel Carol and Roger, and that's my husband's wife. No, hello. my husband's mother and stepfather. And they let me stay, me and Leanne, they let us stay at their home, and that was very nice of them. Thank you so much, Carol and Roger, for letting us stay at your home. So the next day, we got up, and I went to Amarillo. And in Amarillo, I got to see Nisa and Jackson and Jalen and Jacob and Jace. And Nisa made us an incredible dinner of Velveeta chicken spaghetti. It had rotel. Well, it didn't really have rotel, but it had the green chilies, and it was so good, so good. Oh my goodness, and it so blew my diet out of the water. But that's okay, because as Nisa said, I was on vacation, and on vacation you can eat higher calories during your meal, right? So that was awesome. And then we spent the night, Leanne and I spent the night there at Nisa's house. I got to sleep in Jaden's bed, so thank you, Jaden. Jaden's with his grandparents for the week, for the summer, and I really appreciate you cleaning up your room and getting it ready so that when I got there I was able to sleep in your bed. So thank you for that, Jaden. Anyway, we got up the next morning and they made sausage pancakes. Like, the sausage meat was crumbled up and it was in the pancakes. It was so good. Left there, you know, I love food, and so people who feed me are just awesome. Anyway, so from there I went to Guthrie, Oklahoma, and in Guthrie, Oklahoma, I got to meet my brand new sister-in-law. She just married my brother last September, and I'd never met her, so that was really, really exciting. She brought her mom with her and her granddaughter, who was 2 years old. She was the cutest little thing. Also, of course, Betty, because I was at Betty's house. Betty's my stepmother. And it was so good to see her. I haven't seen her in, I don't know the last time I saw her. Like 2007, I think. When Paul and I got married, I think it's the last time I saw my stepmom. So that was great to get to see her. We talk all the time and we text all the time, but I just don't get to see her all the time. Anyway, my sister was there and her husband Mike. And Mike was our grill chef, and he cooked hamburgers, and Mary had made us an amazing potato salad. So it was so good. I appreciated that. What are you saying, George? Oh, thank you for sharing the video, George. I have glasses on, I have sunglasses on. It's kind of hard to read the screen, so forgive me for, you know, what am I seeing? No, you know me. Anyway, plus there's the bifocals. Oh, yeah, don't even get started. Okay, so then, let's see, who else was there? Oh, Mary's daughter, Amanda, and her husband, Brandon, and their baby boy, well, he's not a baby, he's 4 years old. Braxton was there. Braxton is the smartest kid. I was just so fascinated with this kid. And if you got to see my live with Lynn, you got to meet Braxton, because he helped me do the live with Lynn. He was so cute, loved it. So we spent the night there at Betty's house, and I posted a picture of this home because this home is very special to our family. It has been in the family since the early 1900s. My grandmother's parents lived there, and then they passed before I was ever born, but then their sisters, like my grandmother's mother's sisters, who we call Aunt Scotty and Aunt Deli, that's kind of where my dogs got named, because she was Nella Scott and the other one was Della Canning, so Nellie Deli, but she was always called Aunt Scotty. I don't know, because of her last name. Anyway, they lived there. Now, when I was born, they lived there. And so I remember going to this very house as a toddler and visiting, and then as I grew up. So basically, we all grew up in this home. Now it's to a point, my dad lived there. My grandparents moved from Amarillo to there to help take care of Aunt Scott and Aunt Deli as they got older. Then my grandparents got older and they passed away, and so then my dad and Betty moved into the house, and so Betty lives there now. So this, you know, multiple generations of my family have lived in this home, and it's old and run down and falling apart, and so Betty is going to be moving out of it, and Mary and her husband are building Betty a home out on the land where Mary lives. So, okay, too much information, I know, but it was just, it's sad to see the house go, because it's just been a part of the family forever. But you can go back and look on my author page, you can see pictures of the house and just appreciate the fact that it's been in that family since the early 1900s, right? Okay, so the next morning we got up and we went to church, which was so much fun because, you know, it's just fun to go to church as a family, and you know, you get to meet people that they know, and you know, it's just fun, okay? And so we left there and we went to Subway. I mean, do we do it like rock stars or what? We went to Subway, we had wonderful sandwiches, and then I left Guthrie and they went back home. And from Guthrie, then I went straight down I-35 to Claiborne. But on my way to Claiborne, I got to do something so cool. When I got to Fort Worth, I got to meet up with I respect this woman so much. She's like a mentor to me. She's an author, and she's a very successful author, and I am her student. I want to absorb everything she knows and do what she does and be successful like she is. And her name is Kristen Osborne. She is currently, well, she's working on a lot of different things, but she's currently working on a series, and it's a multi-author series like the ones we're doing, because like I said, we're patterning ourselves after her basically. But it's a multi-author series called Rivers Inn Ranch, and it's really good. And if you haven't read any of those, go to Amazon and get them, because they're really good books, good stories, and it's her and several other authors that are writing those. So anyway, so that was, hey Holly, good to see you. That was so cool. And she actually invited me to come eat dinner with her at a Mexican restaurant. So she and I sat at one table, and her husband and her son sat at another table, and we just chit-chatted. I mean, we just told each other our life stories, and we just got to know each other. And I mean, it was just so much fun. So much fun. Just something you don't do every day. Hey, love you too, Holly. It's my niece. Love you. Okay, so then I went, so I was an hour late getting to Cleburne to see my daughter, but she forgave me because she understood. She knows what a fan I am of these other authors. So anyway, so we actually met at the hotel, and we had a slumber party. And once again, if you saw my live with Lynn, we did makeup, and we did our hair, and we watched cartoons, and we colored, and Crimson made me a crown. I should have brought the crown. I left it up in my bedroom. I'll try to remember to bring it to you another time. She made me a crown out of different colored pipe cleaners. It's just the cutest thing you ever saw. She walked in the door with them. Here's your crown. Gave one to Leanne. She had one. It was so cute. But you know, granddaughters, you know, right there in that heart. You just love them so much. So we had a great time. We had a slumber party. We all slept well. Viridian was there, my little 7-month-old grandson. Darling, gosh, he's so cute, and he's so yakety. He's so talkative, and I made a video of him talking, and I never posted it, so I'm going to have to do that. I will post that. That is so cute. Just him doing the baby talk. So cute. So, okay, so we spent the night. We got up the next morning, and the hotel provided that, that luscious continental breakfast. Yeah, muffins and coffee. But it was okay, because it put something in our tummies, got us some coffee, and we got on down the road. Went on down I-35 and went straight towards Austin. Just outside of Austin is a little town called Pflugerville, and that's where my daughter-in-law Adrienne Gibson lives, with Trent's 2 little boys, Gavin and Cole, and then his older 2 daughters. Well, Sabrina doesn't, people who go on rabbit trails. Anyway, one of the daughters lives with them, that's Lily, and the other daughter is 20 years old, 21, I don't even know. She's grown, and so she doesn't live there. Her name's Sabrina. So they had 4 kids. They have 4 kids. As you know, Trent passed away. So if you're thinking I'm getting all confused, it's not me, it's you. No, not really. Anyway, so I got to see Gavin and Cole, and I got to take them to my hotel room. First Lily went with us too, by the way, so I had my granddaughter and both of my grandsons, so that was really nice. First we went to Walmart, and we bought birdhouses, and they came with paint, and we took those to the hotel, and we laid out newspaper on the little coffee table, and we put them together, and we painted them, and we just had so much fun. It really was fun, and we run the string through them, and they had little hanging wind chimes, but we decided we didn't want to do that. that. And so when they took them home the next day, they were going to figure out how they could get them hung up somewhere so the birds could come live in them. And then they'll always remember Gigi when I came there and we made our birdhouses. We watched TV. Thank God for TV, because they have these wonderful cartoons that everybody loves to watch. And we ordered pizza and they delivered it to our room. That was fun. And you know, who doesn't love pizza, right? I mean, it's just kind of a staple when you have a slumber party, right? Of course. The kids slept like, you know, so well. They didn't have any trouble sleeping. We got up the next morning. We grabbed breakfast downstairs. Now, this hotel had a better, well, not better, I don't mean better, I mean a bigger continental breakfast. I mean, they had waffles that you could make, and you turn the little waffle maker over, and one of them was round and one of them was Texas shaped. That was so much fun. So the round one was perfect for the boys because I could cut it in quarters, and the Texas one was perfect for me because I could just eat the whole thing. So while we were eating it, we were like, this is the Panhandle, this is where Aunt Nene is, we're going to eat it, and this is where we are down here, I'm going to eat it. And so we had fun eating the Panhandle, or eating the Texas waffle. Okay, I'm a crazy grandma, what can I say? But my grandkids love me, so that's all that matters. Okay, so then I dropped the boys off, and we said our goodbyes, and I went straight to Round Rock. If you know this area, Round Rock's just the next town over, because I had standing orders from my daughter Nisa to get her some Round Rock donuts. Chocolate covered Round Rock donuts, and I love their kolaches, so I got Leanne and me kolaches, and I got her the Round Rock donuts, and I put them, I ate Texas, I really did, with syrup and butter, as a matter of fact. Yes, you know, that's what you do when you're with little kids. You have fun with your food and all that stuff. Anyway, so we went to Round Rock Donuts, we got our donuts, we got our coffee, you know me, I gotta have my coffee, and we went back to Claiborne. And this time I got to go to Emily's house. She lives out in the country. She has what she calls a little mini farm. They have, I don't even know, a couple of dozen chickens, 2 goats. They've got a dog named Jane, and of course the daughter and the grandson, or the daughter and the son, and the baby. Anyway, it was so cool. And this one chicken, she's actually a pullet. She just fell in love with me, and I fell in love with her, and I held her the whole time. Again, I've got pictures of it on the Lynn Donovan author page. That chicken just fell asleep in my arms. I'm walking around Emily's backyard, which is like an acre and a half, and she was showing me where she had wild grapes growing and wild blackberries growing, and then they had a garden that they intentionally put in, and I just, you know, because it wasn't a wild garden. And she actually gave me some squash from the garden, because all of their stuff, you know, they've got an earlier season than we do. We've just planted our garden. She's already harvesting it, but she gave me some squash. And while we were walking around, I looked down, and here's this chicken, this little pullet in my arms, and she just laid over and fell asleep. It was the cutest thing you ever saw in your life, and so I just fell in love with that chicken. So we went inside, and we did some stuff, and we came back out for some reason. I don't remember why. Oh, I think we came back out to do a live with Lynn. And that chicken ran up to me. It's like, he recognized me. That's my Gigi. I'll be a Gigi to a chicken. I don't mind. So I picked her up and played with her. And anyway, if you saw the live with Lynn, I showed you the chickens, I showed you the goats, and I showed you Crimson doing like a ceremony with one of the chickens. She's holding it up and doing it. It was funny. So if you didn't see that one, you need to go see that one. That was cute. Okay, so Emily made me an amazing lasagna while I was there, and then we had some garlic Texas toast, and just ate like queens, I'll tell you. So then she came back to the hotel, and we had another slumber party, which was wonderful. It's just so good to spend time like that with the little ones, and to help put them to bed, and you know, rock them to sleep and all. It's just, that's so much fun for me. So the next morning we went and had another one of those continental breakfasts at that hotel, and then she went her way and I went mine, because then I went to 287 and I went back to Amarillo, spent another night with Nisa, and this time she requested that I make her my tomato gravy, because she has difficulty making it. It's something about the flour milk ratio that she can't quite get right. So I made tomato gravy, and she made hamburger patties. and green beans and mashed potatoes. Was it mashed potatoes? Yeah, it was mashed potatoes. Anyway, so we had that. That was so good, so good. And I did it live with Lynn while we were making the tomato gravy. Then we spent the night, and the next morning we got up, and Nisa made this, again, amazing breakfast. It was sausage links and scrambled eggs and toast. Just simple, but it was so tasty, so good. Her sausage, I don't know what brand it was, but it was so good. I'm going to have to find out what brand that was. That was really good. I want some more of that. And, of course, she gave me coffee. Thank you, Nisa. I love my coffee. So, anyway, we left there, and I'm getting flies off my legs. We left there, and we went back to Liberal. And in Liberal, this time I got to see tomato gravy. I know you do need that recipe, Holly. I'll send it to you. It's so simple. It's just like the cream gravy Grandma used to make, but it's with tomatoes. Anyway, I'll send you the recipe. Okay, so we go back to Liberal, and once again I get to see William and Abby. And William, okay, on this trip, one of the things that I was doing at each one of my stops was I was giving my kids, and I also gave my stepmom and my sister, one of Trent's chef aprons, because Adrian gave me 10 of them, and I guess all of them, and so I don't need 10 aprons, and I thought it would be really nice to distribute them, you know, among his siblings, and then, of course, my family in Guthrie. So anyway, William made us chili and cornbread, and he wore the apron, and we decided that was why his chili was so exceptionally well, you know, good tasting, because he'd used the chef apron. And anytime you wear a chef apron, a real chef's apron, while your cooking is just going to go up a notch, right? Oh, I didn't mean to say that. That's kind of a copyrighted statement. Well, your cooking is going to be of a higher caliber than it would normally because you're wearing a chef's apron, right? Yeah, it really was. It was so good. And from there, I went over and saw Paul's other set of parents, his dad and his stepmom, and I got to visit with them, which was really fun. And they had a new dog, and that was fun to get to meet this new dog. She's kind of she's either a Schnauzer or she's a Highlander type, that black dog, or she's a mix. But she looks a lot like either one of those, but she's the sweetest little thing. And then they've got two German short hair, Maggie and Boy. So it's fun to see the dog. You know, I'm one of those people that goes to a party and spends the time with the pets. Yeah, I'm that kind of person. But anyway, that was fun. It was great to sit and visit with Karen, and then Butch did get home from work, so I got to see him and say hello and give him a hug, and then went back to Hotel Carol and Rogers and spent the night. And then while I was on the road, I found out that that paranormal investigation team that's in Colorado Springs had approved me coming on a training paranormal investigation at a cemetery. It was called the Crystal Valley Cemetery. It was in Manitou Springs, which is outside of Colorado Springs. I got permission to go to that. So I told Carol and Roger, guys, it's so good to visit with you, but I'm not going to really, you're not even going to see me in the morning. I'm going to get up as early as I get up, whatever I get up, and I'm jetting back home, and I did, and I left at 5 o'clock in the morning. We stopped at, I think it was McDonald's, and we got, you know, like a sausage biscuit and some coffee, because, you know, I have to have my coffee. And we flew home. I didn't go over the speed limit, but I flew home. Drove straight there is what I mean. Got to Canyon City at noon. Got everything out of the car. Stretched out in my recliner. Took a quick nap. And then changed clothes and got ready. And went to this paranormal investigation. That was so cool. It was so much fun. Now, you know, this is all research for Phantom Horse Bridge. And then also, one of my books in the Java Cupid series is going to be based on a haunted theater. And in this haunted theater, they're going to bring in the same paranormal investigators that went to Phantom Horse, because we cross-reference between our stories. Anyway, so that was so cool. We split up into teams, and I went with these two gals. And then Mark, the guy that's our leader, the owner of the company, he went with the other two gals. One of those girls had a machine about this big, and I don't know how it works. It's called an ovilus, and it picks up things and it speaks. And it's not the spirit's voice, I don't think. I think it just picks up things and then it speaks it. So it was saying things that really made sense, because it was, you could, like, it would say a name and you'd see it on a headstone where they were. And then at one time it said something like, Pam is hunting souls, and Pam was with me. It did some other stuff, but anyway, that was real interesting. But that was the other team, and I didn't really get to see that. So we had a digital recorder in our phones, and so we had our digital recorder going, and we took pictures, and we really didn't catch any evidence. We thought we did. We thought we heard a chuckle, and then I thought at first it was me, because I was the one holding it, and then we took some pictures, and then we thought we heard a chuckle, and I said, "Oh, that's me." And the gal that I was with said, "No, that doesn't sound like your voice." And you know, you don't know what your voice sounds like, so when you hear it on a recording, you're like, "Is that what I sound like?" So I agreed with her. Okay, it wasn't me. So we gave it to Mark, and then I actually, he thought it sounded like a, like a spirit's voice too. So he asked me to load it in the computer and send it to him, which I did. And he listened to it better with his earphones and all that stuff. And he said, "I really think that was you." And I said, "Well, I thought it was me in the beginning too." And the number one rule in a paranormal investigation is, when in doubt, throw it out. So we threw that one out. But it was really fun for a while there. We thought we had a grade A, EVP or whatever, voice recording. So anyway, that was how that went. It was so much fun. It really helped me for when I'm writing about, the paranormal investigators, because I've been one. What do you know? Okay, I had this great idea that I wanted to show you. I'm sorry, dead air. I wanted to show you how we are cross-referencing our stories. Now, if you listen to George McVeigh at it's 2 o'clock my time, 4 o'clock his time, if you listen to his live, that was an hour before my live, you heard him read the first chapter of his Java Muse, which, by the way, is going to be released tomorrow. So that's the second book in the Java Cupid series. So I've got Java Break, he's got Java Muse. The next story, which will be released July 3rd, is Java Footprint, and that's my story. I wanted to give you a snippet of Footprint, Java Footprint, because I want to show you, if you heard his live today, then you heard a little bit about the characters. There's Lynn Donovan, there's Aurora, who is an author. Well, she's a writer who wants to be an author, so she wants to be successful at it. And so, anyway, those are two characters that are in his book. In Java Break, there are some characters that you're going to see in this snippet that I'm fixing to show you. So I'm not even going to tell you who they are. I want you to listen to the snippet, and I want you to identify who they are. So if you haven't read Java Break, you need to go read it, because then you'll know. You'll see these people that are showing up in the other books, and it's fun because you're getting to know this whole village of people, So, okay, I wanted to read you that snippet, but first, I promised you that I would show you my chickens. Everybody's interested in my chickens, and I don't blame you, because they're really cool chickens. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to move the camera. Sorry about that. I always hate it when people move the camera, because it makes you feel like you're getting dizzy or something. Turn this around. We're going to actually go in their pen. My chickens aren't quite as loving as Emily's chickens were, but they're sweet. So these two right here, these two darker red ones, they're our older chickens that we've had since last summer. We had 4 of them, and 2 of them passed away, so we were sad about that. And then we went and we got pullets, and that's one of the pullets right there, and this is their coop, obviously. And then here's 2 more of the pullets. Hey girls, cute, chicky, 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 chicky. And there's another one that is, oh, there he is, she is, See the one in there that's kind of red? Isn't she pretty? I think they're real pretty. And this is their, like I said, this is their coop. Let me back up. Pretty cool little coop. We got that at Tractor Supply. So, and this is where they sleep. Up in there's where they sleep, and that's where I collect their eggs. When they first got here, the one of our older ones was being mean, so we made her sleep right here on this bar, and we let the other ones go in there, and we shut the door to keep them separate. But see how pretty that one is? You're such a pretty chicken. Yes, you are. And this one here is like, hello, I want your attention. There you go. Okay, enough about the chickens. Look who joined us in the chicken pen. What are you doing? Get out of here. All right. So that's my chickens. Look, they're like, wait, we want out. They like to get out in the yard. Okay, so that's my chickens. I love my chickens. If you can't tell, I'm kind of an animal lover. I don't really care what kind of animal it is. I love them. That's probably why I love my grandkids so much. Oh, did I say that? You all know. I love you from the bottom of my heart. What do we always say? You people who watch Live with Lynn ought to know this by now. I say Gigi loves you with all of her heart. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Here's the snippet. Now this is from Java Footprint. It is not in the first chapter because you're going to see that first chapter at the end of George's Java Muse, because we are doing that in every single one of the books. Whatever the next book is, we're putting the first chapter at the end as a sneak peek. So I wanted to give you a snippet that you haven't seen, or you won't see if you get his book. You won't see this. But again, watch for the characters that are from Java Break and from Java Muse. You're going to see them in this one scene, and it's not a very long scene. You ready? Tony would swing by the Java Cupid on his way to class. With the second time around coffee cup that psycho barista Ashley had forced onto him, he would just make class. Hopefully the animal killer barista wouldn't be there today, and he could get this cup refilled without some dramatic event and be on his way. A thought flashed in his head. Would they refill a used cup? Maybe. Maybe it'd be better if Ashley was there. At least she knew why he wanted to reuse yesterday's cup. Surely he could explain his reason and get his coffee without incident. Boy, was he wrong. As he opened the door of the coffee shop, a very good-looking blonde woman jumped onto the counter and was shouting at the guy barista, Dylan, about how much she loved him and how she was the only woman for him. By now, everybody in the cafe knew his name, thanks for the shrieking lunatic. Dylan looked mortified, and the other baristas looked like they were in shock. Jamie stood near the table at the opposite end of the cafe, trying to soothe the customer's 3-year-old daughter who had hid underneath the table and wouldn't come out. The manager, Carl, stood at the customer's side of the order counter with a cell phone to his ear, trying to talk the hysterical woman down. Tony stood at the door, questioning whether he needed that cup of coffee after all. Just then, 2 police officers pushed him aside and they strode into the cafe. The bigger one bellowed, "What's going on here?" They looked like they were straight out of the TV show Cops. One was short and overfed. The other was tall and muscular, quite fit for his duties. They marched up to the crazy lady and spoke softly to her. One would think they were trying to talk her down off a roof. The barista of her affections leaned back against the service station like he was trying to stay out of the reach of an escaped lion to keep from getting clawed to shreds. Tony stayed back and let the cops do their job, and what a job it was. Getting a hold of this gal was like catching a greased potbelly pig. She slipped out of their grasp and fell to the ground like a rag doll. He'd never seen such a spectacle from humans. Spider monkeys, yes. Humans, no. but in due course they had her cuffed, using her pointy elbows as handles which stuck out behind her like wings. They dragged her, still struggling, out the front door. She screamed the whole way. Everyone in the shop stared in disbelief, except one customer. A young woman with long blonde hair appeared to be oblivious to the spectacle because she was frantically typing away on her laptop. Quickly, she'd glance up and then back at her laptop. Tony noticed her heterochromial iridium eyes. His cousin Kenny had eyes just like that, one blue and one brown. Either that or she was intrigued with this crazy woman's antics and was taking blow-by-blow detailed notes. Now that he considered the attentive speed at which she typed, he figured the latter. Out of everybody here, she fascinated him the most. Yesterday he saw a romance writer, Lynn Donovan. Perhaps this was another author. Tony had read an article in the paper a few weeks ago that coffee houses were hot spots for authors to people watch and to be inspired for their stories. This crazy blonde lady was certainly fodder for a good story. That's your snippet. That's all you're going to get. But did you find the characters? Did you hear the characters from Java Break and Java Muse? If you did, if you know who they were, tell me in the comments. I'd be really excited to know that you recognized them. That also tells me you read Java Break, which I hope you did. I hope you got it. And if you haven't gotten it, go back and get it. And tomorrow morning, you're going to be able to get Java Muse for 99 cents. Be sure you get it because you're going to have a week to get it at 99 cents, and then it's going to be $2.99, just like Java Break is now. I also want you to look through my author. I want you to go to Java Cupid Corner because there's actually a picture of one of the girls at the coffee shop here that is the muse for Java Cupid, and her name's Jamie. So go on there and see Jamie because she was mentioned in this snippet also. You know, when you know an author, you're going to end up in a book. That's just all there is to it, right? You know that's going to happen. At least I'm not killing them off. At least I'm keeping them alive, right? Because they warn you that if you make an author mad, they're going to put you in a book and then they're going to kill you. You know what? George McVeigh is so sweet. Because Java Muse is coming out tomorrow, he would like to give some of them away today. He's going to give them for free. So if you would like to have I got a bug bugging me. If you would like to have a copy of Java Muse today before it comes out tomorrow for free, he would like to send you one. So if you will put in the comments on this video, I heart coffee, we will get you a copy of that Java Muse. I don't know how many he has left, so I mean they may run out. I know he has a limited amount. Whoa, did you see that big old fly? Anyway, he has a limited amount that he can give away, that that he had available to give away. So put I heart coffee in the comments and we will get a copy of Java Muse to you today before it comes out tomorrow. What a special treat. That is so sweet of George to do that. Okay, I think that's it. That's everything. It's a lot. Thank you for being with me. I so enjoy doing this. Oh, George tells me he has 5. So he has 5 to give away. So the first 5 people who put I Heart Coffee in my comments on this video will get a copy today. Okay? Y'all have a great day. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. Get outside. Enjoy this beautiful weather. Do something. Just walk or whatever. I think I'll go walk. I think I'll go to the river and take a walk. We have a beautiful river walk here, so I think I'll go do that. See you next Sunday at 3 o'clock for Live with Lynn. Y'all have a great week.